Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. I am your host, Jen Washington. This is a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. I would like to extend my gratitude in you listening to this podcast. It means everything to me, and I hope it is clear that this subject matter is so important to me. I care about our people, our future, and making a positive change in this nation.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. Today we have a special guest, Thomas Neal, who is one of the proprietors of Creation Smoothies and Juice Bar from O'Fallon, Missouri. They just opened in November of 2020. Creations offers delicious smoothies served with no ice to ensure customers receive the full experience of fruity flavors as well as other healthful options, including sea moss. Food items include shrimp tacos, to which salmon and mahi mahi can be added, wraps, and other healthy options. Welcome to the show and congratulations on the business.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for having me as well.
For sure. I wanted to have you on as a guest to discuss Black entrepreneurship during a pandemic. Woke by Accident podcast aims to share stories which are relevant to the Black experience and impacts the culture. We also want to provide helpful strategies and solutions to issues which continuously plague our community, including racial biases and overcoming the wealth gap. In Black America, we've had so many discussions recently about a large disparity African Americans are facing in terms of home ownership, education, and wealth. As a business owner, do you see entrepreneurship as a way to close this wealth gap?
Absolutely, absolutely. Entrepreneurship, along with the other things like you just mentioned too, education, home ownership, and time too. All those things help close that gap and help get you further where you want to be. Definitely just realize it's a journey. It's going to take some time, but put your best foot forward and, look for the opportunities and take advantage.
So, but specifically entrepreneurship rather than someone who works a 9 to 5 and goes to work every day. I mean, is this a better way? A lot of corporations and companies are closing. Is it better to take a leap of faith and start your own business?
I actually would, do both if you can, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because make sure you do all the research and stuff that you need to do before you get out there right now. And there's a lot of opportunities with everything going on right now.
Hmm.
Millionaires are always made in tragedy. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
there's a lot going on out here, but start where you at. Just because you're working right now don't mean you're not an entrepreneur. You can't be an entrepreneur. There's so many different opportunities out here right now.
Definitely. In the news recently, we've heard so much about businesses in the food and beverage industry closing their doors for good during the pandemic. I even seen recently that Jack in a Box, 70 Jack in a Box locations are closing. Who would have thought that such a large giant in the food industry would close and be impacted by the pandemic? Now, you, on the other hand, took this or saw this as an opportunity and decided to join with your partners and start a business. How did that come to be?
The opportunity definitely presented itself, especially the way it happened, you know, and the timing happened so quick. We really didn't really think about the pandemic and everything else going on. We
Okay.
focused more on like the opportunity, and everything actually just started lining up and going into place from there. It really happened so fast. Kind of like we were just talking about this opportunity in tragedy and stuff like that. So you just got to look for those different things.
Did you run into any particular challenges with the restrictions?
Well, where we was at, being in O'Fallon, there was actually less restrictions on businesses in the area, so that really did help us out a lot too.
Okay.
With dining, and then we utilized other things too, curbside delivery. So we try to utilize everything we can to the maximum. So the restrictions allowed you to go to a certain time anyway.
Okay.
Do your thing up until that time, and your adjustments as you go.
For sure. Now, a lot of the Black businesses have actually been impacted far worse than the whites during the pandemic, why do you feel that so many of the Blacks have been hit harder with their business in failing during this time?
Well, I think kind of how we started it off when we was talking about the wealth gap. So
Hmm.
a lot of people in the community, we start from behind, or we don't have access to as many resources, or
Okay.
um, our network might not be as strong. Whenever something happens, just the slightest thing, that could kind of cause everything to crumble. And so, whenever you are going into business, one thing you definitely want to keep in mind is you don't want to be taking the money out the business to pay your personal bills
Okay.
in the beginning, especially, because if something happens, the one thing you want to do is you always got to be reinvesting into your business, and that takes money.
Okay.
So try not to be in a situation where you're going to need that money to pay your personal bills. If you're in that situation, I'd probably wait to open up a brick and mortar, something like that, and just find other ways to get started wherever you're at the time.
And you guys are doing pretty good. You're actually getting ready to expand and open a next location. Is that right?
Yes, we got a location opening up in North Limburg, so that should be open up in a couple of months. Definitely want to thank the people, because we wouldn't be able to do stuff like that if the people wasn't supporting and demanding for the expansion and stuff like that. So you always want to thank the people, the customers, the staff. Just got to give thanks.
For sure. I mean, if you think about it, you guys really have not been in business that long, and to already be in position to open your next location is really inspiring. So that's awesome. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really excited about that. Now, a lot of people are talking about becoming a business owner during this time. What would be your advice to someone that's interested in starting a business during these times? What should be their first step?
Definitely do the research. Look for the nuggets out here. There's a lot of gold nuggets out here with shops and office buildings and space that's closed down because people have been closing down. So
Right.
people are more willing to be more lenient or be more willing to accept what you have, your offer to get into the space. So just do your research. Make sure you got a good team. That's the most important part. I got two partners, Terry Bam, Jarrell Robinson.
Mhm.
So you definitely got to have a good team. You need a support system, and I think just go for it. Figure it out and go for it. Definitely.
How do you stay motivated during these times? I mean, it's really been quite a bummer sometimes with a lot of the restrictions. I mean, how do you stay motivated?
I stay motivated with the goals in hand. When we first opened up the first one, we already had in mind we wanted to open up a few different locations within a certain time
Okay.
frame. Also, too, I stay motivated with my partners, like we were just talking about. If someone needs to get picked up, or motivated, meaning if we need to give some inspiration, we laugh, joke, have fun. So we do things together too. So it always works out. It helps having like-minded people around you. So that's how I stay motivated.
What is something that you would like people to know about Creation Smoothies and Juice Bar?
Creation smoothies. I mean, we don't have no ice. We don't want you guys out here drinking ice smoothies. So we want you to get the fullness of the fruits. We want you to get to the good stuff added to it. So that's why we have sea moss. We want a few people that offer sea moss with the smoothies
Mm.
in like a retail store. Um, we have flaxseed, chai seeds. The food is grilled. Nothing fried. We got wraps. We have tacos. We do got a special sauce. So ask for that creation sauce. You can put that on anything. You
Okay.
can get it to go as well. It will be in store soon.
You know what, guys? I've actually had Creations and it was really good. The sauce is great. The mahi mahi tacos are great. So I can personally attest to this being a good option to try. If you make it down to the St. Louis metropolitan area, come through
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
for sure. So I'm excited. Look, I am excited. So, what would be something that you wish someone would have told you before going into this particular business during the pandemic?
I would say going into this particular business in the pandemic, just be patient. I guess just be patient because anytime you do something new, it is a level of excitement there. It's a level of a little anxiousness, so definitely got to keep your emotions in balance so you can get caught up in a decision that's going to hurt the business because at the time you just got caught up in what was going on.
All right. All right. Well, how can we find creations and find you guys on social media?
Go to creationsmoothies.com. You can check us out at Creationsmoothies STL on, IG, Facebook. Also, too, if anybody needs help with their business, we do, offer service like that, whether it be marketing, video, mentorship, whatever it is. You don't have to go through things alone out here. Like we were just talking about earlier, you get with like-minded people, strength in numbers, and we can all get through this together. So definitely hit us up on social media. Appreciate you supporting us. And like I said, I do got two partners, Terry Bams and Jarrell Robinson as well. They couldn't be here right now, but shout out to them as well too.
All right. Excellent. Well, we appreciate you sharing your experience.
Thinking about that creation sauce. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. Right on.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. That's a wrap, guys.
So at this time, we're going to go ahead and conclude this episode. I would again like to thank you for listening to Woke by Accident, and we would also like to invite you to follow us on our social media. On Instagram, it is Woke by Accident Podcast, and on Twitter, it is Woke by. Again, we are available on all the platforms for podcasts. Please subscribe, rate, share, like, tell a friend. We do appreciate the feedback and the support. And every time you listen, we greatly appreciate it. Thanks again and take care.